And there we go. That's all we needed right there. We got you on there, and we're now recording, and this is going to go on to YouTube, and we are going to go live here on the Facebook. So we are going live in 3, 2, 1, and we are live. Good afternoon, kids. Here we are. We're coming to you live from Twin Falls, Idaho. I'm up in Twin Falls. We're up here at a health conference. Came up here to see Sam Tran speak. And we had an opportunity to visit with Miss Lauren Wright today and hear her incredible story. And so for everybody that gets to see this, that doesn't know who we are the Kong family. And we just have this really simple goal. We just want to change the world. And that's what we're doing. We're changing the world. One incredible person, one glass of 9.5, and one lightning bolt in a box at a time. And so we are trying to get out here on the show and share stories, because stories were very instrumental in getting me involved with this. A beautiful lady named Brittany Dykes, she put out her story, and that story changed my life forever. And so my goal now forevermore is to share incredible stories like the one that Lauren's going to share with us today. So we're real excited to meet Lauren. And to be honest with you kids, I'm not even sure where Lauren is, so she's going to have to tell you. So Lauren, where are you, honey?
So I'm in West Jordan. I actually live like 2 blocks away from Corey Ann. So she's the one that got Kyle and I. Kyle's my husband. She's the one that got Kyle and I started on the water, and she lives just 2 blocks away from me. So we're here in Utah.
Awesome. And so did you tune in when Corey Ann came and shared her magic with us? Did you see her on the show that day?
Yeah, okay. I watched this too.
Yeah, and so that was such a blessing to have her on. She has such an incredible story to tell, and you know, her story is actually unique in that it really proves what this water is all about. And the things that I tell people on a daily basis about this water, why it's so important, why they need it, and such. And her story is an absolute proof positive of exactly what that's all about. And so, yeah, very excited that we were able to have her on, and also very excited that you were able to tune in, because that way I was able to find out who you are and get a hold of you and get you on the Kong Family Show. So we're going to start this thing off the way we do with everybody, because I'm always interested. I would like to know how, when, and why you got involved with Kangen water, and were you a skeptic like I was?
So we just started drinking Kangen water this last November, and the whole thing that started it for me was I was friends with Corey Ann on Facebook, and she had shared a post about how much it had helped her acid reflux. At the time, you know, I didn't know about all of her autoimmune diseases and stuff like that, but I had just read a medical journal about how omeprazole is a huge factor in stomach cancer, in people getting stomach cancer. And my husband and his dad, they take omeprazole every day. My husband was sometimes taking it twice a day, and his father was taking it with ranitidine and Tums and 100 other different heartburn medications all day long, all night long, getting up in the middle of the night. Like, it was just a really, really bad deal. And so, like I said, I just read a medical journal about omeprazole and stomach cancer, and I was trying to figure out something to get my husband off of that omeprazole, because we've only been married for 7 years, and that's a terrifying thought to think of, you know, your husband getting stomach cancer. You're gonna get emotional. And so it was scary for me. It was really scary. And so I was looking for something, anything to get him off of that. And so, like I said, I was friends with Corey Ann on Facebook. I saw a post from her about how the Kangen water had been helping her with her acid reflux and the problems that she was having with that. And so I started asking her about it. And for me, like I said, let's try it. Let's do it. I told my husband about it, and he was kind of like, nah, I don't know. Like, I've been taking this omeprazole for years. I mean, since he was a teenager, his dad's been taking it for even longer than that. And so he was kind of, well, this is working for me right now, and I'm not sure that I really want to do it. And I was like, well, let's just try it. Like, what do we have to lose? You know, what are we going to do otherwise besides we were having to go to the doctor every other year for him to have throat scopes done on his esophagus and surgeries to remove scar tissue and ulcers and things in his esophagus that was causing him to choke on food, that was causing him not to be able to eat certain things. Like I said, he was taking all the medications. His father, same thing, tons of medications. So we got started on it with Corianne, and shortly after, his father-in-law and his father and his mom both wanted to start on it too, because his mother-in-law had actually been following this green smoothie queen lady, and so she was totally like, yeah, we'll do it with you guys. So yeah, we started drinking the water in November. For Kyle, he's been able to cut his antacids in half. He takes his omeprazole. He was taking it, like I said, every day, along with several other things, and he's been able to cut back on all of those antacid medications. He only takes omeprazole every other day, every couple of days, every few days, just to deal with some of the symptoms we're trying to, that he still has, but we're trying to cut it out completely. I know his father-in-law just went to a doctor's appointment 3 or 4 weeks ago, and his Barrett's disease, same thing that he's had for years, if not most of his life, like Kyle, and he's in his early 50s. He had ulcers and things in his esophagus, and he went to the doctor about a month ago, and they said it was all cleared up. His body had healed all but like a dime-sized piece in his esophagus, and he was having all of the same, if not worse, issues than Kyle. So for us, that was a big thing to be able to get them both off of, you know, this cancer-causing medication was a miracle.
That is absolutely awesome, you know, and the thing is, what's really super cool about it, Lauren, is that if your husband just keeps it up, he's gonna end up off all of the stuff that he's on, that he's been on. He's gonna end up off all of it if he just keeps it up, keeps drinking as much of the water as he can. And you know, maybe after the show, if you want to, I've got a couple of little tips I wouldn't mind giving you. And in fact, we could even just do that here. You know, my recommendation, and you know, I'm not a doctor, but I do know that people, you know, if I were in that situation, I know what I would do. And I know that I would be using some of the 11.5 water in the morning. Like first thing in the morning, the first thing I would do is be drinking 12 to 16 ounces of the 11.5 water. And then I would also drink that 11.5 water every night before I go to bed, about the same amount. And then if I were at home, or if I had the ability, I would also drink it at noon. And then during the day, I would be drinking the 9.5 water and trying to drink it, you know, 12, 16 ounces or so at a time, every time you pee. So like all day long, you know, every time you pee, go drink another 60 ounces. Go pee again, drink another 16 ounces. Just keep passing it down all day long.
Right.
Which should amount to about, you know, for most people at that rate of drinking and peeing, they should be drinking a couple gallons a day. And with a little bit of that 11.5 sprinkled in morning, noon, and night, and you'll be just totally amazed at how fast your body heals itself, how fast your husband's body does its job. Because You know, like I tell people all the time here on the show, Kangen water is not the miracle.
Right.
The miracle is this thing right here. This thing that I'm always beating like Kong. You know, this is the miracle. This thing is the machine that runs on 120 millivolts and hydrogen. What Kangen water does, what it is it is a gift. It is a tool that was given to us by God and Mr. Oshiro, and it provides the main tools that the human body needs to become its own mechanic and go ahead and fix itself. Right. And so that's what I recommend. People can do whatever they want, but I know that if I were in that position, that's what I would do. I know that even though I don't have any real health problems of any sort other than my left knee, which this water has helped me tremendously with, I know that I follow that protocol as much as I can, right. Whenever I'm home. And I noticed that Corianne has jumped in here. Corianne, are you there, honey? Can we hear you? Can you hear us? Are you
hey
there,
guys.
Sweet angel?
Hey guys.
Hi.
There she is. Awesome. Well, I'm tickled that you're in here with us, Corianne, and thank you so much for introducing us to Lauren so that we could get her on the show and hear what she has to say and that kind of thing. And so you've been drinking the water, Lauren, since, what'd you say, November?
Yeah.
Last year? Okay. Yep. And it's helped your husband out quite a bit. He's been able to reduce his intake of that poisonous garbage, however you pronounce it. And so what about you? What is it? Oh, and by the way, I wanted to tell you something. I really love your emotion. I think that's great because quite frankly, that's the way I am. I'm really emotional. I know that when Corianne was on the show, I actually was tearing up like crazy hearing her story because this stuff just hits my heart really deep. And I've spent a lot of time crying, listening to different stories and talking to people about it because I'm just very passionate. And, you know, ever since my mom passed away, I pretty much cry about everything. Heck, I even cried at the end of Rocky V. And so, you know, I love seeing emotion come out of people because that's really what this is all about. This is all about love and emotion and also just the simple science of the human body and what it needs to do. It's operating. And so it's always neat to get people on here, see their emotion and see, you know, just see the real of it. You know, that's why I like doing these is I get to see that. And I you know, I think that people's emotion is a big part of what's going to help us because people see that it's real, that we're not scripting anything. And, you know, you don't know what questions I've got to ask. I've got to just ask them and we'll see where it all goes, right? You don't have a written script, anything to talk from. You're coming from your heart.
No, I have a note.
And that's where we're all trying to come from. And so,
I'm just writing down your suggestions so I can pass them along. Cause
yeah, there you go. That's what we hope.
I just want to get him off of that stuff. Like it's not something that we need.
No, it isn't. And you're on the right track. That's for sure. You are definitely on the right track. And I'm so happy that Corianne reached out to you or that you reached out to her. And it's just a great testament to how this whole system works and what this incredible family of people is all about. And so, yes, very, very exciting. But what about you? You've been drinking the water, I'm assuming, and, you know, have you had any health benefits? Has it helped you with any of your situations?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I don't really have a lot of health struggles. I guess I am blessed in that way. I don't know. But Corianne and I, the only real big thing that I can say is Corianne and I go to the gym together 3 times a week. And for me, I've always gone to the gym. That's just something that I enjoy doing. And I used to take like pre-workouts and BCAAs and all of those supplements and things to like be ready to work out and to not feel sore after and, you know, all of that stuff that they tell you to do so that you can avoid all of the unpleasant parts of working out. So for me, I mean, I have a bunch of that stuff still in my pantry and I don't drink any of it. I don't use any of it because I can drink my Kangen water throughout the day and I don't have any muscle soreness at all, no matter how hard we're working out. And I can always tell when I don't drink enough because then I will be sore. So for me, I don't have any miraculous health discoveries, but there are still some benefits that I have from drinking it as well that aren't necessarily tied to anything major, but it is helpful every day.
Yeah, sometimes just the idea of having a little bit more energy, you know, people don't realize how this water, I call it the best energy drink there is on the planet, because, you know, literally if you're feeling a little bit tired and you guzzle down yourself 16 ounces or so all at once, it's amazing how fast it gives you energy, and all of a sudden you're not tired anymore. You've got to get up, got to get something going. What am I going to do? You know, running around like the Energizer Bunny, right? And so your husband, it's been helping him out a lot, and you were mentioning that your father or your father-in-law?
It's my father-in-law, yeah. So all of the Wrights over there all have some struggles gastrointestinal wise. So it's definitely, but his dad and my husband are definitely the worst. And it's done crazy, wonderful things for them.
Yeah, that's the common denominator is what it is. It happens for everybody that uses it. And it's, when you learn the science behind it, it doesn't even surprise you. I don't get surprised by anything anymore. I love it. I'm excited about it, but nothing surprises me just because I understand what it's all about and why it's doing what it's doing. And so now it's just a matter of, I just want to share the stories with everybody so that people can understand, you know, just how powerful the human body can be and what it can do for itself. And so you've been involved since November. So what is that? That's basically about 6 months or so.
Yeah.
Now, have you had anybody else that you've been sharing the water with, or anybody that's picked up a machine through you or whatever that has had any interesting stories to tell that you've seen?
Well, just so like I said, my father-in-law and my mother-in-law, they jumped in a week or two after Kyle and I did and wanted to drink the water with us. They actually wanted to buy a machine before my husband and I even did. They started drinking the water. Like I said, my mother-in-law follows like this green smoothie goddess lady, and it was in her little book of things, you know, she drinks these green smoothies every day, and she was like, it's in the book, we have to have one. So they started drinking the water with us, and yeah, they were even more committed than Kyle and I were to begin with. So they bought a machine right after we did. And then, like I said, I had to convince my husband just a little bit. So they bought a machine right after us. And then I have a friend right now who's drinking it to see if it will help with some struggles she's having too, that she just started drinking the water a few days ago. So we'll see how it helps her out, hopefully.
Yeah, well, it'll definitely help her. You know, one thing that you can do that will help these people out a lot that are trying the water, that you're bringing the water to them, if you can get them to drink, like if you're bringing it to them in a bag or a jug, I always recommend those bags because you can squeeze all the air out of the bag. After you pour water out, you can squeeze the air out so there's no air in there, because the three things that eliminate the properties of this water are air, heat, and vibration. And those three things. So if you can keep it cold, if you can keep the air off of it, then it lasts longer. But pretty much I've found that it pretty much loses its power after about 48 hours or so. So if you can, I always tell people when I bring them water that you got to drink this within 48 hours.
Yeah.
You know, every 2 days I'll bring you what you need for 48 hours worth of drinking. If you don't drink it within 48 hours, then give it to your plants. Don't be drinking it, because it's not going to work, and it's going to give a bad name, and you're going to go, oh yeah, I drank that stuff, it didn't work. And so try to get your people that you're giving water to drink it within that 48-hour time frame, and then get them some more. And that you'll find that their success, their solving of whatever their issues that their body has will happen a little faster that way. Also, another thing that you might consider is just also let them know that that they could have headaches, they could have diarrhea, they could have stomach aches, they could have different things like that, but that's all part of the detox process. And what that means is that they need to drink more water. They don't need to back off. No, they need to drink more. They need to fight through those things, because what's happened is your body is now detoxing itself. It's all of a sudden getting what it needs and going, wow, hey, I'm getting what I need. Holy moly. And, you know, so that's just a little tip for you for as you're moving along and sharing water with people. And there's looks like a young lady here on the line with us, Elizabeth. Elizabeth,
yeah,
right?
That's my mother-in-law.
Well, Elizabeth, would you like to show your pretty face and say hi to us? Can you hear us?
Maybe.
Well, that's okay. If you can't figure it out, that's all right. As long as you're in here and you can hear what we're saying, we'll get you on soon enough, because we'd love to visit with you if you'd like, and share your story down the road too. But today, Lauren, we're asking her some questions and going through her story. But so you've basically just been sharing it with some people, and you've been involved with for 6 months, and you got involved because of the fact that your husband had these issues, and you basically trusted in Corianne and what was happening with her, and you thought, what the heck, I might as well give it a shot. I know that a lot of people in this business that are considering this, one of their biggest issues is the price, because they don't see the value. They only see the price, and they're not looking at the value. What would you have to say to those people in regards to what you guys decided? I mean, did you go, holy moly?
Well, so one of the big things, we were a little bit shocked with the price tag, but at the same time, we knew that we'd get a little bit back from our taxes, which we did. And then I'd seen some posts, you're skipping out on plastic water bottles, you're skipping out on, a bunch of things that you're buying. A huge example of that is when we got our machine, I decided I was going to go in 150%. And so I got rid of all the cleaners from underneath my sink. I got rid of all of my facial products. I got rid of all of my cleansers, my facial lotions, everything, because I said, you know what? If I'm going to make this investment, I'm going to use it, and I'm going to use it for everything that it is designed for. It's not just designed for drinking. It's designed for all these other things. And so I cleaned everything out, and I gave all of that stuff away. And again, I mean, my parents and my husband thought I was kind of crazy. I had all this stuff stacked up on the countertop, and I'm like, I'm posted on Facebook for people to come and pick it up. I'm getting rid of all of it, So I don't have anything underneath my sink anymore. I have hardly anything in my bathroom as far as, like I said, facial toners and cleansers and lotions and all of that stuff. I got rid of everything. And so, I mean, for me, yes, it's a big investment, but I like to say I don't have to buy any of that stuff anymore. I don't have to buy bottled water. I don't have to buy Windex. I don't have to buy Lysol. I run a daycare from home, so I go through bleach and Lysol like candy here. So I don't have to buy any of that stuff. I don't have to buy any beauty products as far as facial toners and lotions and things. I mean, I would be interested to see in a year how much of that price or how much of that is actually coming back to me in the fact that I don't have to buy any of those things anymore. So,
absolutely. And you got, everybody, look how beautiful she is. She doesn't even need any of those lotions or potions. She just needs Kong, and she's as beautiful as you can imagine. And so I'm wondering if you might elaborate just a little bit on that, because I'm sure there's going to be people out there who are going, what? She got rid of all of her cleansers. She got rid of all of that. She got rid of all. What? Oh, you did that. Why don't you elaborate a little bit on how you did that? What did you got rid of your cleanser. What did you replace it with?
So I've posted a couple of videos on my Facebook and my Instagram of like my routine, but I use the 11.5 water to wash my face. It washes off my makeup and everything. And then I use the beauty water as a toner, and as it takes the place of all of my lotions and stuff like that. So I don't have to use any of that stuff anymore. It's just water that I'm using to clean the face with, and that's it.
And then what about like the cleaning and that kind of stuff, like cleaning your house? You're like, hey, I use 409, I use Clorox, I use Fantastic, I use, whatever. How did you get rid of all that stuff?
Lauren, you should mention that you have a daycare service that you
have,
and you have to keep your house clean for.
Yep. So that's what I do for a living, is I am a daycare provider. So I have 4 to 6 kids in addition to my own 2 that are at my house all day. So we have germs and kid goobers everywhere, everywhere, all day long. So yeah, like I said, I was going through gallons of Lysol and bleach and stuff trying to keep my house clean, because when you have that many kids in your house, it's inevitable that everyone gets sick, especially in the wintertime. Everyone gets sick every other week. But so I have to keep my house as clean as possible. So I use the 2.5 water in a spray bottle to disinfect all my handrails, to disinfect my countertops, to spray on the kids' hands instead of hand sanitizer. I don't know what else to use it for. Everything. Everything. And I don't have to worry about the kids getting into any chemicals. I don't have to worry about locking up cleaners and making sure that everyone's little kids are safe, because if they were to drink 2.5 water, it wouldn't do anything to them. They'd be fine.
Yes, that is exactly the truth. And so you use it for disinfecting countertops and their hands and that kind of stuff. I'd imagine you got these little kids running around. They've probably got some bumps and some scrapes and things like that. Do you also use it for that as well?
Yep, I've used it for that. Another post that I had done on my Facebook not too long ago is I have a big dog. Her name's Katie. She likes to sit outside in the snow for hours in the wintertime, and she actually got frostbite on a few of her toes last winter from sitting outside in the snow for too long. And she's very shy about her paws being touched, and so she wouldn't let me put anything on them. She wouldn't let me put any medicine on them. She wouldn't let me do anything. So I ended up just soaking a paper towel and putting it against her foot with a baby sock on it in the 2.5, and it was almost completely healed by the next day. It was gone.
Wow. That's some pretty awesome stuff right there. I love hearing those kinds of stories, just because, we all know that this is way more than just drinking water, that it takes place of so many different things. I know I've had tremendous results with my big old kitty. I've got a big kitty that's 17 years old now, and it has literally changed his life. He was docile, and I thought he was pretty much a goner, like real soon, because he was hardly doing anything, hardly moving or anything. And now he's chasing our little kitty around, and it's one of the greatest sounds in the world when I'm down in my office and I hear their little feet scurrying around the upstairs, or he's chasing her all over the place. It's really heartwarming to see that kind of stuff, and it's got to feel good to see it help your puppy get his feet doing better. And so that's pretty exciting. And Corey Ann, seeing how you're in here, and then Rich. I'm not sure who Rich is.
That's my father-in-law.
That's your father-in-law. Well, Rich, welcome to the show. Glad to have you in here. I don't know if you can. I hope you can hear us. If you have anything to say, just kind of speak out, and you might need to hit your unmute button if you want to.
Yep, I'm here.
There you go. You got a picture to show us that smiling face of yours? We love seeing smiles. Hey, there we go. Smile.
There we go.
I love it. Pleasure to meet you, Rich.
Nice to meet you.
You're Lauren's father-in-law?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, it's awesome to have you here, because she was just talking about you. And so, seeing how you're here, would you mind elaborating a little bit on your story as far as the water? You've been drinking it for a bit, and and it's helped
Well,
your body. How?
So when I was in the military, I ended up getting a lot of GERD, reflux disease and stuff, that acid has come up into my esophagus. And a couple years back, I would get things caught in my throat, and I'd have to go to the emergency room because I'd get torn esophagus. I had a scope done, and they told me that I had what's called Barrett's disease, where the acid comes up and it starts turning the lining of your esophagus into stomach cells. Lauren and Kyle came across this Kangen water from Corian and brought some over to us, and we started drinking it. Of course we did. We got the runny nose and the headaches and all that's from drinking it. But, you know, after about a month of drinking it, we started feeling better. Started feeling a little bit more awake, not quite so tired. I've been taking Zantac twice a day for the last 10 years. And I've been taking all the other antacids. I go through Tums like they're candy, and started drinking this stuff. I take about half the medicine now that I need to take. Every once in a while I'll still get the acid reflux, but I've cut my medicine back in half. And we bought our Kangen machine back in December, so we've had it permanent and been drinking it since then. I went in recently to go see the doctor, had another scope because it was time for my 2-year follow-up. And he told me that my Barrett's disease is stabilized. It hasn't increased, and it actually looks really good. I don't have to go back and see him now for 3 years.
I love it. I'm so happy to hear that. I was giving Lauren a couple tips on it, and I'll, you know, she can share those with you after the show. What you know, just a little bit of a protocol that you might speed up the process of you know, completely getting off all those medications, maybe a little bit faster if you work that protocol a little bit. I think you might be amazed at how much quicker you can speed it up. And you know, I'm all about trying to help people, help them get better, help them, you know, if I've got something that will help people, I want to let them know what it is. And that way they can make adjustments to the things that they're doing. And so that's really neat. And I'm really super happy for you that you've managed to get involved with this and be part of it. And, you know, so back to you, Lauren. I want to ask you what is really my favorite question that I ask everybody when they're gracious enough to come on the show and visit with us. And that is that you have somebody that might be interested in this water, and you've got one thing you get to say to them. What is it?
My biggest thing is just to ask people, what do you have to lose? I mean, that's all it really boils down to. Why should you be told by a doctor that you have to live with whatever you have for the rest of your life? Why not just try something so simple as changing the water you drink? I mean, does it get any simpler than that? No.
Yeah. It's like our buddy Sam Tran says up here that we came up here to Twin Falls to see today. He says the genius is in the simplicity. He says any old fool can complicate things. Yep. Boy, isn't that the truth, right? So yeah, you've been drinking the water now for about 6 months, and you've been using it in your daycare. Mm-hmm. And what kind of, I would imagine that like all the kids that come to your daycare, that you've probably been giving them the water to drink, because I'm imagining that there's probably not much of anything around your house to drink other than dog's water, correct?
Nope. Nope, that's 90% of what we drink is just Kangen water.
Have you had anything happen with any of the kids that that have been there at your house over this period of time that you thought, wow, well, that's pretty exciting to see that happening? Have you had any things like that where it's led to you being able to talk to their parents about the water or anything like that?
Not with my kids, no, but we've only had it for a short amount of time, so I imagine that at some point that bridge would be crossed. But I mean, I'm friends with all of my daycare moms on Facebook, and the mom that's actually drinking the water right now is one of my little boy's moms. And it's just, she had seen me post stuff on Facebook and just started asking me about it. And so I started talking to her about it. And, that's just my big thing. Like I said, I don't think it's fair that a doctor should tell you, just live with it. Sorry, you can try all these medications, you can try all these things, but you just have to deal with it for the rest of your life. That's one of the biggest things that used to bug me when we'd go to the doctor for Kyle, is that just doesn't seem fair to me. with all that we have, in the world today, it doesn't seem fair.
Yeah, and the truth is they just don't know what they don't know. They're not taught anything about nutrition. They're certainly not taught anything about water. Water's just water, right? That was my thought process, was that water's just water, and this is stupid. And little did I know it was me that was being stupid. So,
Yeah,
I stopped doing that. And
I recently was seen by my doctor for a physical, and he told me that. He said, water's just water.
Yeah, they like to say that, but and the truth of the matter is they're absolutely correct. Water is just water, but Kong's water is something different.
Yep.
And it's actually not H2O. It's H2 negative OH for about 48 hours after it comes out of that little lightning bolt in a box. And then after that, it just turns back into regular plain old water again. And so, it's kind of an interesting little conundrum in that it's, when I was saying water is just water, I didn't realize how correct I was and how wrong I was all at the same time. And so it's such an interesting little conundrum that we all have to kind of learn as we go along. And as people hear about this, they have to come face to face with that little conundrum. And Corey Ann, you're in here. I want to ask you if you have anything that you would like to ask to Lauren while you've got her on here. And there might be something you'd like to know or you'd like her to bring up, or something that I don't know about, to ask that question or whatever. So what do you think? You got anything for Lauren?
Well, I just love Lauren, how she's incorporated the water in her whole life. And she just is an amazing example on how to be a product of the product. And recently she shared one about her little baby girl's rash that was pretty exciting to me, and just because I've experienced that too with my kids, and eczema issues in the past, and the water, getting them on the water, and those issues just, disappearing.
Yes, absolutely. So, one of my big goals here, Lauren, one of the things that I really like to do, as far as, the main thing is I'm trying to share stories, because I think, there's a saying in this business, in network marketing, and, really in life in general, is that facts tell and stories sell. And for me, I didn't care about any of the facts. The facts were like, whatever. I didn't care. Water's water. And I didn't, I wasn't even willing to look at any of the facts, quite frankly, until Brittany shared her story. And when her story came out, then I was like, holy moly, all right, I better check this out. The little light bulb in my brain cell turned on, and I had to check it out, right? And that changed everything. And then I decided that the stories were, or the facts needed to be found out. And, so I learned what I didn't know. But one of my big goals beyond those stories is to unite people. Because there might be somebody out there who watches this video who watches the recording and they see it a month from now, or 6 months from now, or a year from now, and they have the same situation as your husband, or as Rich has, or something like that, and that story might save their life, it might change their life, and they might want to get a hold of you so that they can get a Kong machine from you, or that they can ask your opinion or whatever, just ask for help. And so at this point in the show, I like to give you the opportunity to share whatever information you want with people, because we never know who's going to resonate with who. And like I said, somebody out there might want to hook up with you. There might be one of my nieces or nephews or somebody who I've been trying to get this water into, but they're like, I like Lauren, I want to go get one from her. So I want them to be able to get a hold of you and go get a Kangen machine from you, if that's who they choose that they want to get a Kangen machine from. Just because my goal is to get these machines into people's households, get this water into people's bodies. And who they get the machines from is secondary to me. I'm sure plenty of them will come to me and get their machines as time goes by. But if someone wants to get a hold of you and they want to hook up with you, they want to team up with you, whatever, how do they do that? Whatever information you'd like to give out, I'd like you to do that at this time if you would like. And then I'd also like to let everybody know that, hey, if you're going to send like a friend request to Lauren because her story today has touched your heart and you want to hook up with her, just please do her the common courtesy of sending a message along with that friend request saying, hey, Lauren, I saw you. Crazy little rascal JJ is beating his chest like a monkey. And I want to hook up with you. I saw what you're doing. And so just make sure to do her that common courtesy if you send her an email or leave her a message of some sort, let her know how you found her. Will you do that, please? And then, Lauren, you go ahead and give people whatever information you'd like to give them.
Okay. Well, I don't have any pages necessarily. I mean, you can add me on Facebook. That's fine. You can email me too. The easiest way to email me would be just through my email address, which is Pedersen, PEDERSEN, cowgirl@yahoo.com. And I can answer any questions that you have.
And then Lauren Wright on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And that's LAURENWRIGHT, kids. If you want to send Lauren a message on Facebook and send her a friend request. She's definitely an awesome part of the family. And there's Mom. HoooDeeeHoooo! Hey, Mom, how you doing?
Grandma and Grampy.
Good to see ya.
Hi,
I love it.
now.
Is this Elizabeth?
Yep,
Yes.
that's Elizabeth. And then this is my daughter, Rayleigh.
Hey, Rayleigh, how you doing, honey? HoooDeeeHoooo! Great to see you kids here. And we've got my brother Roger here. He's in the house too. I was wondering, Roger, do you have any comments? Do you have any questions for Lauren that you'd like to, anything she said that stimulated something in your brain cell? Hey, Corolla, HoooDeeeHoooo!
Hey. That's nice to meet you guys. No, I won't ask any questions today, but I was very impressing, like the story what she was telling and her father or whatever. Rick, it was very important to know.
Yeah, this stuff can help us all, and that's the nice thing about being able to get these stories out there is that this is going to be on YouTube. It will be on the Kong Family Show YouTube channel. And so it will be available. As soon as I get it uploaded, I will share it out so that you have it. And you guys they're open and share away. Get it out there to the world. Make Lauren famous. She's a superstar. She's on the Kong Family Show. But yes, honey, I would like to just out now, because we're pretty much about done. I've got to get into this conference. Sam's going to be speaking here again soon. And I'm going to try and put that out live for everybody to see the rest of his speech. But Do you have any final message, Lauren, that you would like to leave our audience with?
Just kind of reiterating, I mean, why not do something so simple that could change your life? It's basically all it boils down to. That's all everything boils down to. Why would you not want to try something so simple?
Yeah, exactly. I love that. That's that one question that I ask, everybody always has a really interesting, unique answer to that. And so it's pretty cool seeing the different routes that people take to that question. And yeah, once again, so grateful that you were willing to take the time out of your busy day to come visit with us for a bit and share your awesome story. And definitely would love to hook back up with you again here as time goes by to check back in, see how your husband's doing. And I'd actually love to get your mom and dad on as well and do an episode with them just to hear their stories directly and hear what their thought processes were behind it all, because ultimately that's what we're all about. We're this big family of people. We're trying to help each other. We're trying to get stories out there because we simply don't know which story is going to touch somebody's heart and change somebody's life forever. Because, the motto of this company is change your water, change your life. It's not change your water, change your job, change your water, change your shorts. It's change your water, change your life. And that's what we're doing. We're changing lives. And in doing that, we're accomplishing our goal of changing the world. And so we really appreciate you coming in here, taking your valuable time to come and share that awesome story. And I look forward to following you around on Facebook and hearing your stories. And anytime you have anything great that you want to share, please hook up and say, hey, Jay, got something I'd like to come share with the fam. And we'll get you back on and you can share away and we can share it out and just do what we do. So thank you so much for taking your time. Have yourself an incredible day, great rest of the weekend. And of course, as usual, as always, don't forget your hugs and your HoooDeeeHooos. Love you guys so much. Look forward to seeing you out there, and go out there and change somebody's life.
Thank you.
What we're best at.
Have a good weekend, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Bye.
See you guys later. Thanks for coming in. Bye for now.
You're welcome.
HoooDeeeHoooo.
HoooDeeeHoooo!
There you go. I can't see my screen here. There we go.
You have to take your glasses off, then you will see it. There's two doors.
Hey, love you, buddy. Have a great day. Give that
You too,
studio
man.
of yours a hug for me.
Will do.
Bye for now.
Thanks, AJ.
You're welcome. Bye for now. HoooDeeeHoooo.